Another city I love, Portland, Oregon. I've got family out there. I grew up near Chicago. I got family in Portland. I love these two American cities, and I feel for all their residents. So, uh, same playbook here. Threatening funds. The White House is pressuring Portland. Obviously surging federal law enforcement, but they're also going after the city's pocketbook on Fridays. So the administration, according to Lion Carolyn Levitt, the White House press secretary, the administration will review cutting federal funding for Portland as well, citing what she said was elected officials' refusal to work with the White House to crack down on street crime and immigration enforcement. Now, the White House activated 200 National Guard troops, um, to patrol downtown Portland, the same as they have in Chicago. However, U.S. District Judge Karen Immerget, a Trump appointee, mind you, issued a temporary restraining order after the state and the city sued. The order expires on October 18th, but could be extended. She wrote in her ruling that the U.S. Constitution grants Congress the power to call forth troops, the militia, in the founding document, to execute laws, suppress an insurrection, or repel an invasion. She wrote that Trump's attempt to federalize the National Guard, absent constitutional authority, undermines the sovereign interests of Oregon. So now, as I understand that, I'm hearing the legal words: execute laws, suppress an insurrection, or repel an invasion. I don't think we have any of those things going on here. Then that appears to be what the judge is saying. Do I read that correctly, Derek?
Well, according to our glorious leader, they are the enemy, though. They are the enemy within. We're being attacked from within. I mean, we'll touch on that a little bit later during
Yes,
his
we will.
little pep rally. But, I mean, in his views, yeah, they are the enemy. But my whole thing about Portland is I hope the guardsmen and guardswomen are getting really nice artisanal cheeses right now in Portland. And they're, really protecting Portlandia from, the invasion of Vancouver baristas trying to take over the jobs. I mean, it's quite horrible in Portland. I've seen videos of, oh my God, people actually going to work. It's mayhem in Portland right now.
So I've seen pictures from Portland, and residents are protesting in the most Portland way possible, like clowning these troops that are obviously here against their will. Literally dressed up like clowns, mocking the troops, staging a kind of uh, a ridiculous demonstration that in a way shows how silly this thing is. Blythe, is that maybe the way to protest this instead of the appeals to our humanity, to the rule of law, to our sense of common decency don't seem to be working? Is pointing and laughing the way to go?
I hate to say this, but I think it might be, because it's one of those things where, I mean, this is just that ridiculous. Um, and I'm here for it. We have to be doing something different in addition to protesting, and I think that's a great way to do it. I mean, really, the enemy from within is MAGA. It's this regime. So it's like everything they do is always the opposite of what they're actually saying. Like, they are, again, the insurrectionists in the problem. But yeah, I think adding humor, because I mean, look at how we were just talking about Gavin Newsom's posts. The Latina woman who's doing his social media, they're like throwing back their ridiculousness at them in the same method. I mean, it's kind of like this. This is definitely a shit show, and they are clowns. So yeah, I'm here for it.
I think Charles, it's an important demonstration that we're not afraid. We're not afraid of you. And I think so much of MAGA and the Trump administration and what they're doing is, man, they are like sharks in the water, and they smell blood. They can tell that people are afraid and get into a frenzy about it. If we're not afraid, does that diminish their effectiveness?
I believe en masse, yes, because they have been able to manipulate human fear almost expertly. I mean, it's what I would equate to in the foreign theater, like a psyops or something along that line, where they're actually conducting psychological warfare on our own people, and to that effect, that if we can take the humor and say, hey, look at how ridiculous this actually is. I mean, I gravitate more to like stand-up comics who point out the reality, because they are kind of literally the living historians and pointing out the what the actual hell are we doing here on these things. And even then, I have a bad feeling they're going to probably attack or two, sooner or later. I think their fear. I think a lot of this is born out of their own fears, because they fear anything that is different from their own weird cult mindset, and it really is a cult mindset that we're dealing with these people. And if it contradicts a thing in the dear leader's mind, then oh my God, it has to be dealt with. Well, but I think the people in Portland are handling it absolutely beautifully, where they're kind of said like, yeah, okay, fine, you're here, okay, we get it, but it's not your fault. You've been told to go there, and I feel for the military guys that are there. I mean, the National Guard members that are there, I guarantee 90%, 99% of them are sitting there like, what the hell are we doing? This is absolutely useless. I mean, we are not trained to be in the domestic environment. That is not what the military was for. And I think a lot of these guys are just trying. A lot of these folks are on the ground. They're kind of like, okay, this sucks. And we've all served on deployments where it just absolutely, we were like, why are we here? This absolutely makes zero sense. And that's what these folks are going to be going through every day.
Yeah, I'm really interesting to hear all of your perspectives on this as we go forward and work toward our one big thing here at the end.